Like, this is really, like, live. We doing this. We're live. Long live MF Doom.
Welcome. Wait, I'm not even. Testing?
Testing.
We in this thing? Okay, yeah, we in this thing. Welcome. This is Alphabet Soup Radio, or the podcast. This is Alphabet Soup, the podcast.
Yes.
I have a special guest with me today. I'm with Elkneenose, my brother. Hey, wait, hold on. Do I have a little... Wait, hold on, shit. Yeah, welcome. I'm glad to have you here.
Yes, I go by Ninos Shadon White. That's what most of my friends and people know me as. My family know me as Zakar, but I go by Elkneenose. That's what I call myself. Exclusive loser or excited loner, aka Nino Green, aka Greenos, aka White Tea, aka Green Pants Man, aka Brown Pants Man, aka Big Tuna, aka Big Bako, and I could keep going on. And yeah.
Yeah, well, I didn't even introduce myself. My name is Brianna. I'm B33, aka Banana, aka Banana Pill, aka BB Socks, aka
Ooh.
Crayola Brie, aka 3-Eye Brie, aka man, just your favorite person. I'm just kidding.
Come on,
AKA,
we ain't gonna do them like that,
yeah,
Brianna. We could keep going
everything.
with AKAs. Our AKAs is our
Man.
ABCs.
Man,
And I be
AKA.
A, okay? Shout outs to Killer
Man.
Cam.
All right, but yeah, we're just here. We at the spot. You like the setup? I hope you like the setup. Like, look at this. Look at where we're at. Like, it feels good in here.
I love the spot. Like, every time I come here, y'all, like, I just feel it. Like, I just feel it when I'm in here. It's an amazing spot. I love the spot. This is literally the spot. Like,
thank you. Well, yeah, I'm glad you like it here. It was supposed to be an environment where, you know, creators could come and just relax and just explore their minds and just talk and just chill, you know, just like how we're doing. I created the space for this podcast and for like my art content and everything. So it's good. Like, this is the first go. Like, I'm happy. Like, I don't know why it took us so long to get to this point, but that was a great topic that I wanted to talk about. It's like, we've been investing as creatives into our creative, you know, our creative lives. And now it's like, when is the time to stop investing and to start working?
yeah, that's a good topic to talk about, because I noticed that about, like, just people in general, not even just creatives, just people. Like, you know, we put so much time into investing, and it's like, yeah, invest, but put action into what you investing in too, because a lot of people were afraid of failure. So are we afraid of, like, falling, or however the case you want to put it? You know, it's like, you could get a bike and have training wheels on it, but once you start riding a bike and you fall, then you realize, oh damn, you know, I got this bike for a reason, instead of just getting a bike just so it could look nice and shit like that. That's another thing too about people. Like, we try to get the best of the best things. Like, what's that shit that DMX said, like, when he was growing orchids, about, like, you know, expensive lights, expensive this, when all it need is just time and attention, you know? Right. I feel like that's how we should treat, like, our talents, or, like, things we want to do. Just give it time and attention. That's what it really needs. Like, yeah, living in this country, we need money to buy the things, like all this equipment me and my sister put in together, but more so, like, it would be useless if we just bought this shit and didn't do nothing with it. We'd just have to sell this shit to somebody else that want to use it. So it's about the tools that was put here for us to use. Like, that's the most important thing, is just using the tools that was given to you. So yeah, that's the way I.
And it's crazy because what we fail to realize a lot is that tool you already had. You had it all along. It's like, it's you. Like, you're the tool. Like, all this shit that we haven't invested in, that we thought we needed to start, but, you know, all that shit is just extra.
Yeah.
Like, we really just needed ourselves, you know, because once we did have a lot of this equipment, we still felt not ready.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You can have all the equipment and still not feel ready. So it's just like, when do you come to the, or how do you come to the point where you're like, okay, it's ready to start working? Like, is there ever a right time to start?
Yeah,
ready?
yeah. I get exactly what you're saying.
It's like, is there ever a right time? Like me, I don't think it's the right time. Like, I think today, how we're doing this, I had no idea how this was gonna go, but
me either.
I couldn't keep wrecking my brain over, oh, how is it gonna go? Like, or I couldn't, stick to a schedule. Like, we're not even doing this at the time that we planned to do this today. It's just like, you just have to do it though. You have to make the time to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
And you can't fret about things that happen, because what's the saying? Shit happens all the time. Yep. So it's like, you can't wait for a perfect environment. You can't wait for the perfect mental state. You can't wait for the perfect sample to hear. You can't wait for the perfect, color, shade. Like, you can't, whatever your creative thing is, like, you can't, there's no such thing as perfection. So as creatives, it's like, I feel like to start, you got to get rid of that perfectionist mentality.
Yeah, for us. And just do it. Like, literally fuck it all and just do this shit. Just do it. Like, don't even care about, like, what B33 is saying. Like, don't even care about fucking perfection. Because, like they say, I'm perfecting my craft. Like, I get what that means. But also, it's like, practice, makes perfect, like they say, but don't even practice to be perfect. Practice just to practice, do it for the act of it. Don't do it for the result of it. I seen this quote that this Buddhist said, like, I guess the Buddhist was like building this boat, and he took all the time to build the boat. The nigga was building the boat for like a long ass time, and the point is, he built this boat and he destroyed it himself, like, soon as he built it. And the guy go, why did you build it? I mean, why did you destroy it? And he tells the guy, I didn't build it for the result, I built it for the act of it. So that's how you should do things, do it for the act of it. Don't do it for, I'm doing this and it's gonna come out as that. Like, me and my sister say it all the time, like, some of our favorite albums, you could kind of tell they was just doing it just to do it. They wasn't doing it like, oh, how their fans is going to look at it. They were doing it as, shit, let's just have fun. Let's explore and do this music. And however it turns out, it turns out. And those be the greatest fucking albums. Like, those be the greatest albums. The ones that they just do what they do. And you listen to it and be like, damn, that shit, it came out nice. Because they're doing it for the act, not for the result.
Right, because imagine just how much fun they were having in the studio when they were making, those songs that we love so much. Yeah. And it was just fun. It just, great things happen out of fun, and not worrying about the outcome but focusing on the process is definitely like key to getting over perfectionism. Yeah, for me at least, it's like just falling in love with the process. That thing is like, it's hard to do because sometimes the process be like tedious and it's frustrating and everything. So it's just like, you'll get what's the word? You'll get oh my gosh, I'm blanking. You'll get damn.
Hey.
This is weed. This is what weed does.
Look, we're humans, okay? We're humans. It's okay.
What's the word?
Oh, I think I know what you're trying to say.
Oh, discouraged. There you go.
There you go. See?
You'll get discouraged by, frustrations and like, oh, I'm not doing this on beat, or whatever. Like, it gets frustrating. Like, shit happens, but we just gotta go. Like, we gotta get through it. And it's like, one thing that we used to talk about like years ago, we used to talk about getting comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yes, yep.
We used to talk about that a lot. And like we used to use one example is like taking cold showers in the morning.
Yeah, and I still do that, guys. I fucking take cold ass. Dang. Shout outs to my nigga Nathan. Shout out to my best friend Nathan. We wish you were here, Nathan, but you here with us. But yes, I love taking cold showers. That not only that is beneficial to your skin and all that shit, but like what my sister was saying, it's beneficial to like your mental like outlook on like life, which is being uncomfortable. I mean, being comfortable with the uncomfortable. Because who the fuck want to take a cold ass shower in the fucking morning? Like in the morning, because I wake up at 6 or 7 every day, and you know I might get ready at 8, 9, whatever the fuck. But you know, I take a cold ass shower around 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. That's when it's still fucking cold. Like, and if you know LA, like how we live in LA, then you know the morning time is bipolar as fuck. It could be hot sometimes, it could be cold, but most of the time it be cold. And yeah, I take cold showers. I love taking cold showers, but yeah, you know, that was the point, is being comfortable with the uncomfortable.
Yeah, so I actually had a recent experience like the other day. In my house, we had a hot water heater problem, and there was no hot water. And I was like on my way to go somewhere. I needed to take a shower. Like there was no way I was getting around taking a shower. Like I needed to clean my ass. So I was like, damn, like there was no hot water, and instantly I got irritated, like really mad.
Yeah.
Cause who wouldn't? You like, we comfortable, and we're privileged. We're privileged, and we have hot water. So it's like we get used to, you know, just turning it on every day and it being there and the water being clean and just being alive and shit. Like we're so used to these things, and we feel like we're entitled to these things, right? I felt very entitled for hot water at that moment. Like I want a shower, I want a hot one, nigga. I want to take the hot shower, nigga. So I was mad. Like there was no way that I could get around. You know, I couldn't fix the water heater. Like it wasn't something that that I could do. So I had to, you know, just woosah and just do it. I had to just do it, and I had to just be like, okay, let me get out of my mind. Like let me get out of my ego or whatever this is that's preventing me from not taking the shower or not wanting to take the shower. Like yeah, it's uncomfortable, but that was the whole point. It's like I had to mentally reevaluate and just check myself, like, hey, like just shift your mindset to like a grateful mindset that you actually have clean water. Like regardless of like the temperature, it's still water and it's clean, and it's still gonna clean your ass. Like and that's what you need. That's the ultimate goal. It's not about, you know, your comfortability all the time. It's just, you know, you got to work with what you're working with. And I was just trying to just mentally just get through just that whole cold shower experience, and honestly I felt good afterwards. It was just like a mental exercise. Like I felt like I did just a bunch of reps like in the gym. Just my mind felt stronger afterwards, but I was still mad. Like I had to take a cold shower, but it just was still good though to just get uncomfortable and try to, you know, work through that uncomfortableness, because
there you go.
It's gonna. I'm familiar. One thing that I have to get familiar with is being uncomfortable, because that's like we're always gonna have an uncomfortable moment. Like
and working through it.
Yeah, working through it. Said. Right. Like I didn't just be like, fuck it, I'm gonna be stanky today. I'm not taking this cold shower. Like I worked through it. So that's the whole thing with just creatives. We just gotta work through the uncomfortableness and all the phases and the ugly phases. Like I know my paintings they go through ugly phases. Like when I first started, it looks hella ugly. And I can't judge it for what it is. It's not finished yet. So I have to wait until I come to the spot, and I'll never know when I'm finished. I just, you know, follow my intuition. I just keep working on it, and then eventually I'll come to a spot where I'm like, okay, no more work. Like let's not overwork the situation. It looks good like how it is. It might not be perfect, but this is perfect. It's perfectly imperfect. You know?
Same with me, you know, because I'm a aspiring artist, you know, a music artist. If you don't know, if you do know, then you know. But same with me, like it's songs back then or recordings that I've did back then that's trash as fuck. Like I have trash ass, but you know, did that stop me? No, because like she said, it's all about the working through the uncomfortableness, because it is songs that I'm like, fuck, like this shit's trash, you know. But that low-key scared the fuck out of me. That sounded like some horror movie shit.
I was looking for the one. There you go.
That shit scared the fuck out of me, y'all. But to continue, so working through the uncomfortableness, not stopping when something gets uncomfortable too, because like she said, with the ugly phases of paintings and the horrible songs that I've came across and done myself, you know, from the beats that I produce to the songs that I've wrote or record. You look back at it and you be like, damn, this shit is fucking trash, but I did it though, you know? That's my key point of what I'm trying to say is I did the shit. I did it. Like,
right, and you're not scared or you're not wait. you're not afraid to admit that you did those things, even though the quality wasn't great. Like that's not what you're capable of doing now.
Yeah.
You're like, you know.
Because I'm hard as fuck.
You can go.
I'm hard as fuck.
We grow and evolve, you know. We go through phases. Like, I've had so many phases. Oh my God. I've had so many phases.
Haven't we all? I have some fucking phases. Let me tell y'all a phase that I had that was so fucking cringy. Now that I look at it, I had the biggest Chicago phase in my life. As my sister right here and my boy, my best friend Nathan, we used to buy BB guns and fucking throw up like we thought we was EBK? From Chicago. Yeah, EBK. We used to go like this, like throwing up. You know, I don't bang y'all, by the way. I'm not affiliated. I don't bang none of that. But you know, like she said, phases. That's another thing too. I think about being a creative or being like, you know, into like art is you gotta go through phases to get to. It's not even about getting to who you are. It's more so about just going through this shit to know what like, oh, okay, I think I resonate with this style over here. Like this is what it is with me, you know, instead of going through like, instead of feeling like you gotta have a style and shit like that. But yeah.
Sorry, that just distracted me, this camera going off. Continue. Phases.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so you know, with phases and shit like that, I had the Chicago phase, I had the skater phase and all those growing up and stuff, but now I don't know what I am. I don't know what I am now. I'm just a 22-year young black man that like dressing, that love music, and shit, I just do what I do. And I'm a young dad, by the way, too, y'all. Yes, I am. But I'm not about to put that. Yeah, that's just a whole nother discussion.
I love your son.
Yes, he loves his auntie too. He loves it. You know, he do what he do. You know, he does what he does.
Baby teen.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Like the more I look at him, the more I be like, oh damn, like this boy do look like me. You know, because everybody around me would be like, oh, y'all look so much alike, but I didn't see it. Like I didn't see it. Probably like when he was like 7 or 8 months, his face would come in a lot, and I didn't see it. But like being with him today, I really looked at him and I was like, oh, this shit scary as fuck. Like, it's scary. Like, it is.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful
twins. Scary,
though. It's not like a, you know, it's a beautiful scary. He's like, oh, damn, like, he go grow up, like, super handsome. And, like, that's literally going to be, like, I'm going to look at him and get scared because I'm going to be like, damn, like, that's me. Like, it's weird. But same with my little brother, Garrett, too. Like, I look at my little brother and I be like, damn, like, it's me all over again. And it's funny, them two look just alike. Like, everybody say my son looks like me, but like to me, he looks like my little brother. Like he literally grabbed my little brother and then threw his face on himself. Like it's the scariest shit, but you know, to continue.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's genetics. Genetics is crazy.
Man.
How would you say, what is the biggest lesson that fatherhood has taught you so far?
That's a good one. Compromising. That's like the biggest one it taught me is like compromising, knowing how to like for example, me and my sister is supposed to do this at 3:30 or like earlier, but me and his mom like compromised, like, oh, you know, I like the mom had to do what she had to do, and I was like, you know what, all right, like, you know, I do what I do with my son and stuff, like take him out for a walk, like play with him and read to him and all that stuff, and you do what you do, and then once you come back we could like, you know, take him out to the park or whatever, and then we once that's done, then I could go on ahead and come do the podcast with my sister, you know. So that's what that taught me, is compromising, you know, because when you don't have a kid, like, you don't really need to compromise like that, you know. I mean, you do, you know, if you in a relationship or something, but when you not in no relationship or you don't got no ties with nobody like that, then you don't gotta compromise with nobody. You don't gotta be like, oh, like, I gotta do this at this certain time, so like, can you help me with this? You don't really gotta do that unless like it's, you know, like you and a girlfriend or you and a boyfriend or baby daddy, whatever you want to call it. That's when you gotta compromise. And it taught me how to be mature too, because like I said this yesterday, I said I'm so mature to the point that I could say I'm immature, or I could admit my immature ways. Not too many people mature like that. Like, not too many people could confront their immature ways, because I know I'm immature in a lot of ways. I know I am, but life is a ongoing growing process, and that's what my son taught me too, is like learning how to like mature more and like be like, you know, now I gotta play adult responsibilities and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm still a kid inside though. Like, you know, inside, that kid spirit is always gonna live in me. But I understand, like, you know, I need a car to get to him, and I need a job to provide for him, and
Adult shit.
you know, just adult shit. Like, cause
Yeah.
I don't let the adult shit trap my mentality. You know, not saying my mentality is childlike, but my mentality is low key like a child, which is, you know, being in the moment, having fun, falling in love with the process. I know this kids does that a lot. Like Milo, he love falling in love with what he's doing. Like it could be like going out on a walk or, you know, playing with toys and stuff, but I noticed they fall in love with the process.
Right.
They don't really care about how like the result is going to be. That's adult shit right there.
Yeah.
Like adults, we think about the result too much. It's crazy, it rhymes, adults and results. Like, we fucking love results as adults. So
Man, for real, it's because we feel like that's the only, you know, evidence of our actions. Like,
yeah,
that's the only evidence, is like results. It's like I'll say we, like, I'm an adult. But yeah, I just turned 20, so I'm kind of like on that adult level.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
quite.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have all my adulting down yet, but I just got here, so like, you can excuse me.
Right,
But
cut her some slack, y'all. Hey, no cutting, no slack. Like, nah, if y'all seen that movie, Don't Be a Menace, y'all know. But yeah,
so yeah, I just you know, got to the scene of the adulthood stuff, and I'm just realizing there's no right way to really do this.
it's not. It's actually not, because, you know, I'm 22 years young and I'm about to be 23. I'm starting to realize, like, being an adult is literally being who the fuck you want to be. You know, like, being
Right.
who you want to be. The only thing about being an adult versus being a kid is y'all both have responsibilities. Kids got to go to school, they got to get good grades, all that. But the only thing is, the adult responsibilities is bigger than the kids. You know, the adult responsibility grows as the age grows too. So, you know, the more you grow, the more your responsibilities about to start kicking in. Like, that's how I could put it. They start kicking in the more you grow. So in your like elementary years, you know, they small. Middle school, they kind of get in there. High school, they start kind of growing. Soon as you get out of high school, that's when they start growing. And then 30s and 40s. So they grow as you go. That's how I could look at like being an adult versus being a kid. But that's the thing too. I remember I used to be scared being an adult, because how adults used to make it seem being one, you know, like, oh, fuck, I got these bills and I'm stressed and blah blah blah. But now that I'm 22 years of age and, you know, I'm a young dad, I fucking love being an adult. Like, I love it. I have a car. I could go where I want to go. You know, I could do what I want to do and stuff like that. You know, like I have the freedom to get rich if I want to get rich. Like, when I was a teenager, not saying I couldn't get rich, but it's like, you know, even if I was to get rich, I would still be under my parents. Like, I'd be under their authority and shit. But when you an adult, you know, you got to respect authority, but you are the authority. Like, you are the one that's like, you know, you the boss of your life. You the boss. You the CEO, the owner, whatever the fuck you want to call it. So that's why I love being an adult. Is like you got the freedom to do what you want to do, and not give a fuck about what anybody else got to say. But when you a kid, you know, you got to worry about what mom and dad go say about that, like whatever you want to do. Unless you got some fucking, what they call it, free range parents and shit, let your ass do whatever you want.
Oh man,
me and my
that's not
sister,
cool.
we didn't grow up like that. You know, our fucking parents would, excuse our language, minds, they'd beat our ass for some shit if we want to, you know, do what we want to do. Like, what? You want to do what you want to do? You want privacy? I pay the fucking bills. I pay the rent. Shit like that. You know, I put clothes on your back and food in your...
I put you in this world, I take you out.
Yeah. Come on. Y'all know how the black parents give it up. Y'all know how the black parents give it up.
We definitely had that because as kids, we were like really free spirits. Like we always been free spirits. We always been hella curious and just getting into stuff all the time.
Especially me and my sister.
Just the mind. Just the mind used to take us like a lot of places, and we used to just let it just... whatever curiosities that we had, we used to just go exploring and just like we wanted that freedom, like we wanted that taste of freedom. But imagine how little that is as a kid. So I do agree with you on that front of how adulting is cool in the sense that you don't have to, you know, ask for permission to do things. Like you kind of just have the will, and you have the capabilities and the ability to just do you, like, however you please. Like, getting adult, like, I said this to somebody else earlier in the week, but I was just saying, like, my family has been giving me the gift of option now. Like, and I think that's means I'm an adult. Because, I have the gift of an option. Yeah. When you're a kid, you don't have an option. Your mom, like, get fuck up. Like, we going to church today. Like, you can't say, no, I'm not going to church, Mom. I don't like to go to church. Like, you getting up and you're going to church, like, regardless of whether you don't want to go or not. Like, you could be like, Mom, like, you was just in the club yesterday. Like, why are you going to church? What? You don't even live this way. So, yeah.
Hey, God bless to all the. I love all the Christians. God bless. You know, I'm not really into religion like that. That's not my my feng shui or anything like that. But God bless. I love all my Christians, Muslims. I give it up to all of y'all. You know, but yeah, my sister's not lying. When you had to get that ass up, you had to get up. Like, it wasn't no, I'm not going today. If anything, if you was saying you're not going, oh, that's the devil in you. That's the devil. Like, huh? Like, wait, this is the devil that I don't want to go? Like, because you're forcing me to, if anything, you're the devil. You're fucking forcing me. Like, but you know, I ain't gonna do that.
Don't say that, but
I ain't gonna do that.
My whole point was just as kids, like, we used to do bad stuff. Just because when we were older in our heads than we were actually, and time just wasn't moving fast enough, and our brains were just like constantly just rolling. And plus, we used to surround ourselves with older people. So you know, when you surround yourself with older people, you kind of just feel like you a part of that clique when you're not. But I don't know where I was going with that one. But.
And it's crazy. I want to touch on that because a lot of people, like, you know, me growing up and stuff, like, a lot of people be like, oh, like, you're so mature for your age. I always, like, hear that a lot. And, you know, I didn't understand what that meant, like, you know, in that age at the time. Like, what the fuck they mean I'm mature? But as you were saying, like, we grew up around older people like Darion and, you know, like, you know, names. Like, I could name some names, but we grew up around older people, and especially me, you know, my sister, she didn't hang out as much as with her friend.
So you were older than me. So
but what I was gonna say was you didn't hang, like, you hung out with me and my friends, but like, I'm talking about when on my alone time with my friends. You know, I had
other people, but even from my perspective of hanging out with you, like, that's still a lot. Like, you're like a few years older than me, but still, that was just like, oh, I just was observing a lot. Yeah, and you're she's super mature for her age. Like, when people told me that, like, I'm mature, like, no, this is the mature, like, she's super mature, like, for her age. And somebody asked me that the other day, like, what is maturity? And I said maturity is the outlook of your experiences in life. That's maturity. The outlook of your experiences in life is not about age.
I know motherfuckers that's probably 30, 40, 50, 60, you know, whatever age they are, older than me, where their mentality is nowhere near how my mentality is. Not knocking them, you know, to each his own, but yeah, I'm mature than a lot of motherfuckers that's older than me, and I could say that.
Yeah, me and my granddad were having a conversation, and he always says, you know, you can have more life experience than someone who's older than you.
Facts.
Big facts, right?
That's fucking
you can
facts.
Have way more life experience than people who's older than you.
I low-key feel like I had a lot of more life experiences than a lot of older people. Because my coworker, I ain't gonna name drop her. I love her. I think she's like, I ain't even gonna do her like that. I ain't gonna say her age. I'm gonna just say she's more experienced in life than me. And she said that. She was like, wow, you have a lot of life experiences because just look how the way you talk to me. You know, how old are you? I said, oh, I'm 22. And then she was like, wow, you know, that's amazing. You know, you got wisdom. And yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Right. I love meeting new people.
Me too. I love networking. I love meeting people. I love approaching people. I love that shit. Like Nathan was just saying that about me yesterday. He was saying, bro, one thing I noticed about you is you're very into like, you know, communicating with people. Like you love communication and you love like talking to people and all that. And I do. I enjoy that shit. I love the art of communication. That's the art itself, you know, not just music and painting and shit. Communication is the biggest art of all arts. You know, how the fuck are we going to express these arts that we do, which would be movies and music and painting and drawing and tattooing and shit, if we don't know how to communicate, express ourselves? So yes, the art of communication is my favorite fucking art form. I love talking. And if you know, you know. You know I could talk a fucking ear off. I was about to say, I could talk an ear off. How come you think we did this podcast or we're going to do this shit together? Because
we're both
we could talk.
Talkative. Yep. Yeah, talking is great if you know how to do it well. Some people... it's not really good at talking.
Shout out to my socially awkward motherfuckers. I actually fuck with y'all. I love socially awkward. I'm part
of that group too. Like,
she is.
I try to be like a cool awkward person though. It just doesn't work. Like, I don't know. Shout out to Easter 8 for just like making awkwardness a little bit normalized and just more comfortable for people who experience that. Like we know that we're not alone because. Just awkwardness, it will really take a toll on you. And I don't know, it adds personality, but at the same time, it'll make your communication hard because then people won't understand you all the way because you're awkward and like your delivery, it just lessens your delivery when you're a little bit awkward. In my opinion. I don't know.
I feel like awkwardness is a gift and a curse, but everything is, right? Because even me, I don't know if I'm awkward, I don't know, but what I am gonna say is, like how awkwardness is a gift and a curse. I feel like the art of communication, like knowing how to talk, is a gift and a curse too. Because just like how socially awkward people feel misunderstood, myself as a person that could talk a fucking person ear off from the sunrise to the sunset, I feel fucking misunderstood all the time. Like I always feel misunderstood. I always feel like... yeah, no, I was telling Nathan that the other day. I always feel misunderstood. I always feel judged. I always feel like it's always my mind like talking to me as much as I'm talking to that person. So I might be talking to that person and we're connecting and shit, but my mind is constantly like questioning this person. Like, oh, what if they don't even give a fuck about what I'm saying and shit like that? So yeah, I totally agree. And I understand with the socially awkward people and stuff. Just anybody that's going through problems, like, I understand you because I go through that problem all the time, which is, you know, people don't give a fuck or they don't understand me or like, damn, I think I'm talking this person ear off. That's my biggest problem. That's the number one fucking thought I think every time I'm getting to know somebody or something, because I allow people to talk too. I listen. I'm a very good listener. But when I talk, sometimes like I kind of say the line, I kind of like forget. Like, oh shit, nigga, you just been talking for 40 minutes straight, and this nigga just been right there like this, just or like the girl just been sitting there like, and then I be in my head like, oh fuck, fuck, bro, they probably not about to fuck with me ever again. They could be like, yeah, this nigga talk too much. He just keep on and on and on. Like, you know, so yeah.
Yeah, because you said, yeah, this person not about to fuck with me no more.
They not. See,
Dang.
that's what I'm saying. Like, socially awkward people
Yeah.
feel like people not gonna fuck with them because they're awkward. But then I feel like people are not gonna fuck with me because I talk too damn much. You know, so everybody is going through their own inside battle.
Right.
Everybody's
internal
going through
battles.
it.
Yeah, we all have those.
Internal battles.
Yeah, but that's ironic though that you said you feel misunderstood even though you talk a lot.
Yeah, I do.
'Cause
I actually do.
I feel misunderstood, and that's just part of the reason why I don't talk as much as I used to. Like, I used to get shamed when I was a kid for talking a lot. Like, I used to, like, bro, my whole kindergarten class called me SH. Like, shh. They call me SH.
I think that's my nickname right now. I think that I'm gonna add that
Nino,
to an AKA. Nino, shh. No, for real. Cause hey, shout out to all my Nordstrom coworkers. Shout out to all the coworkers. I ain't gonna name drop people, but I know certain managers at that job probably be like, shh, be quiet, Nino. You talking too fucking much. Nathan know what's up. Nathan know. I'm talking too damn much. So
Man.
yeah.
So yeah, they used to call me SH, and like I used to just be like kind of like, dang, like I talk a lot. So what? Like, it's a conversation. Like, you know, I have a lot to say. Like, you know, my mind, like, my little mind is imaginative, and I just like to talk, you know? So just that being said, and I've had those thoughts before, oh my God, I'm talking too much. And I've had those thoughts about people who, you know, just be blah, blah, blah. So I just be more observant. Like, the art of listening is great. Like, the art of communication is great, but listening is also part of communication.
It's
not separate from talking. Talking is just one part. And paying attention to, like, nonverbal cues is big.
Super
like
big.
nonverbal cues is like, that's like 80% of the talking, if not more, that we do. Like, words is just like 2% of communication. So it's
say
like,
it again, Brianna.
words is just like 2% of the communication. It's like words don't mean anything. It's just about everything that the person doesn't say.
It's the energy behind. Nathan said that too. It's the energy behind the words too. My mom used to always say that it's not about what you say, it's about how you say it. You get me?
Yeah.
It's not about what you say, it's about how you say that shit. It's the energy that's behind them words too. And yeah, you're right. That the art of listening is way bigger than the art of communication. Because one quote I used to always hear all the time is listen to understand and not to respond. You know, that's a big fucking problem in our society. A big fucking problem. We all want to like hurry up and be like, yes, I say what I say. I'm going to say what I say. Like, no, fucking sit down and listen to understand. That's why when Brianna is talking, I literally just sit down and you know, just take it all in and then, you know, say what I got to say when I have that open opportunity. But don't just like, you know.
Right, and we be thinking about what we want to say while the other person is talking.
Yeah,
and
that's why.
We don't even really be listening. We just be like, damn, what they think? I don't know, but I know what I'm going to say, so I'm going to just try to like say what I got to say.
Listen to understand, not to respond, not to respond.
Not to respond. It's crazy because I just made a beat for my YouTube video that I'm about to post, and I have this clip in it from Midnight Gospel. If you have never watched the Midnight Gospel on Netflix, go watch that tonight. You will not be disappointed. But I have a clip from that, from one of the episodes. It's about just listening. You know, and she was just, I have to show it to you. Like, I have to show it to you for you to understand. But the way that they break stuff, like, concepts down in that show, like, have you ever seen it?
No, that's what I was about to say. I need to watch that shit. I need to watch it.
I've been putting everybody on the Midnight Gospel. If you like cartoons, it's cool, but it's like an adult cartoon. And the visuals are, like, super epic. And the whole show is like a podcast, but it's a cartoon, and it's just so dope. Like, you will be really intrigued by that show, and a lot of the topics that they talk about are like spirituality topics and just like you know just human stuff, just cool ass shit. But the clip about listening was dope. So I gotta show y'all. It's gonna be in my YouTube video that I post, but I gotta show you though when we make music after this because it's super dope. it's just super
For
dope.
sure.
But a part of just the thing about, you know, how we just don't listening, and listening is a big part of just of everything. Like I feel like listening is more important than talking.
Yeah, it is.
So important. Yeah, we just be so trying to just get our words out and just try to be understood all the time. Like I want this person to understand me, like you know. But it's not about that. It's not about that. It's about listening. And me and my friend were talking this weekend, and we were talking about just how friends are cool, and just people that you meet are cool because you know they're alive and you get to experience them. So just imagine if you dominated the conversation all the time and you didn't really get to like experience someone else, because when you're talking and listening, you're experiencing their world.
Exactly.
So it's like you gotta let yourself experience other worlds. Like your world is not the only one to be experienced, even though it might feel like that in your world, you know, in your head. But like other people have lives that they that deserve to be experienced. Like we're all alive, and we deserve to be experienced
and expressed,
aka listened to. And we all need to feel safe enough to express ourselves, because a lot of us don't. So it's people who like go mute because they don't feel comfortable to express themselves. Like imagine, like talking, we just said talking is not important, but imagine if you didn't talk like ever. Like you would never, like how are you gonna vouch for yourself, you know?
I'd fucking die if I couldn't talk, because people
would you vouch
know
for yourself?
I don't know how to answer that shit.
Like how, you got to defend yourself in this world of people who are constantly trying to tell you what to do and tell you what to be. Like imagine. So, but that's cool though. Your willingness to talk just lets you know that you're like in control of just like at least your life. So that's good. That's good. That's really good.
And I noticed that about me, like loving to talk is like how Brianna said her nickname was SH. I was noticing like, damn, nobody never called me that, but I used to get told that so much. Like, do y'all understand how many times I got told, you talk too much, you talk too loud, you talk too much, you talk too loud? I got told that fucking probably more times than more money I ever made in my life. Like, I got told that so many damn times. But, you know, that made me feel like, damn, I shouldn't talk too much, or I shouldn't talk at all. But it made me realize, you know, the things that people hate me for, that's why I love myself. That's why I love myself. I love that I could talk. Because to be honest, I don't got to talk to none of fucking y'all. I could talk to my damn self. And I fucking do that all the time. I talk to my damn self. I'm my favorite person to talk to, because it's like, I don't need to talk to nobody. I don't need to talk to nobody, because nobody ain't going to understand me how I'm going to understand myself. So that's why when people say the things they say, like Brianna said, it's like, damn, you missing out on a good world you could experience, because I am a cool world to experience. I am a very cool world to experience. So, you know, it's just crazy how people miss out on that. So, yeah.
Yeah, just, man, I've been realizing lately, like how you said, I don't need to talk to y'all. That's so true. Like, solitude is amazing. Like, have you ever had some? Like, oh my God, solitude. Sweet solitude.
Man.
Like, the sweetness of it is amazing. And it's sad because a lot of us are scared of being by ourselves.
Yeah.
And having to talk to ourselves. Like, a lot of us have never talked to ourselves, or we only talk to ourselves when it's something bad that we want to tell ourselves. Like, don't do that. Like, don't do that ever again.
Yeah,
like, you know, it's never encouraging positive self-talk. It's never none of that. But I just recently had a therapeutic experience. Well, it wasn't therapeutic experience, I guess it was, but I just had therapy the other day for like the first time. And I had this cool little analogy that I said to my therapist. I said, a lot of us, it was along the lines of like, you know, a lot of us have never like spent time alone. Yeah. And I was just saying that we have like our inner world is like a house. It's like a lot of us have unfurnished inner worlds because we've never been there. So, and then I was telling her like how I've just been spending time, you know, just decorating my inner world and just like getting to know myself. And I've told her that this spot is a reflection of that inner world that I've been like trying to furnish and, you know, just make comfortable for me to live in. Like, you know,
Damn.
imagine living in an apartment. Like, just imagine if you got an apartment and you had no furniture, the lights is off, there's no hot water. Like, that's a horrible place to be in. You wouldn't want to live in your apartment. You would not want to be in your apartment. But you got to, like, furnish it and, like, decorate it and, like, make it a place that you want to be and spend time in.
Yeah.
But a lot of us have never done that. So we got empty-ass apartments, a.k.a. inner worlds, with cobwebs in them.
Damn.
Or we got squatters, like people in our inner world, like people who you let dictate your life. Like they're in your apartment, squatting, living rent-free.
Yeah.
Rent-free in your apartment.
You
like,
got motherfucking couch surfers in your damn...
Oh, God. Everybody on social media who watch your story, like, you got them living in your apartment, squeezed up in there. You know?
You got couch surfers.
Yeah, so furnish your inner world. You know, take time to get to know yourself because you're a beautiful person. Like, it shouldn't have to take someone else to tell you that you're a beautiful person for you to realize that you're a beautiful person and beautiful. Yeah. So, like, that should come from you first. And I'm super big about that. Like, just validation, not being external and, like, being, like, from you. Like, if you're the root source of your validation and your self-esteem, then you should be good because, like, why would you try to get self-esteem from someone that's not you? You know, so
exactly.
That has to come from you. It has to come from you.
The key word is self.
Right. Yeah. Self-esteem. So it's like a lot of the times we don't. Will Smith said it best. He said, we look into broken mirrors, aka like other people who don't really know themselves. We look into broken mirrors to try to get a better image of ourselves. And then we try to fix ourselves in this broken mirror. Or we try to change ourselves to look good in a broken mirror. When it's like, you can't do that. Like,
yeah.
If you ever looked in a broken mirror, you know, your face is all abstract.
Yeah.
It's just not who you are. Like, you're not supposed to you're not supposed to use someone else's perception to judge your own. Like, you're supposed to do that for you. But, what was we talking about? I'll be ranting about the shit. But
nah, for real, that's true. I was just telling my coworker that I think it was yesterday. Yeah, he was saying that you know, he be having problems and shit like that, and I was telling him you shouldn't allow outside things or outside people affect your inside you know, like yourself. You shouldn't allow those things. If anything, it should be the opposite. You should affect the outside things and people. You should do that, but not the other way around. The outside things and people shouldn't affect you because you go lose every time. But you know, at least if you are the one that affects the outside things and people, you go lose, but you go win some. It's like you go lose some and you go win some when you know, be the controller of, like, you be the controller instead of the outside being the controller of you. You know, you go lose all the time. Like, I read a comment on YouTube. It was talking about, like, being off drugs and shit. And it said, if you try to fight the high, you always going to lose. And I look at life like that, you know, like, because life is being high to me. I don't need to do nothing to be high. Like, I just wake up and I'm high already off life. But I say that to say, like, you know, if I try to fight the high, then I'm going to lose all the time, you know, because I'm trying to fight it. So I should be the controller of the high instead of letting the high be the controller of me. And that's why, me personally, that's why I don't do nothing. Because, you know, when I used to smoke and all that shit, I try to control the high. Like, I mean, not control the high, excuse me. I try to fight the high. Like, I try to be the one that's like, nah, like, don't react like this and shit like that. But it's like, nah, the only person you could control is yourself. You can't control the weed. You can't control the alcohol. You can't control the pills, the acid, whatever the fuck. You can't control that. Once you put that in your body, it's going to respond how it's going to respond to how your body and all that shit work. But the only thing you can control is your reaction to the response of how the drug is going to take you on whatever you know, your ride, your trip, your high, whatever you want to call it. That's the only thing you can control is your reaction to it. You know, like Nathan once said, you know, life is reacting to you, not happening to you. Best quote Nathan ever told me, and it's been living in me for a long time. Life is not happening to you; it's reacting to you. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So back to the whole cold shower thing. It's like if I kept like negatively reacting to that, like if I had a mental thing. Wait, hold on. What are you saying? Life is reacting to you, not happening to you. Yeah. Right. So you have control over how you see situations. Like experiences are just that. They're just experiences. They're not necessarily good experiences. They're not necessarily bad experiences. They're just experiences, and you have to take them for what they are because every experience has a lesson that it's supposed to teach you. So me, I couldn't get caught up in the fact of, oh my God, this is a negative experience. I have to take a cold shower. This is so uncomfortable. It's just, if I took away all the judgment, it's just a shower. Yeah. It's just a shower. Take the shower. Cold, hot, whatever. Those are like just a shower. Get it over with. It doesn't have to be that hard. It doesn't have to be complicated. And I don't have to like wreck my brain over that, over anything. Like a bad trip, for instance. We was talking about drugs, like that just is an experience. It's not necessarily a negative experience. Well, it kind of gives you negative reactions to it, like you react negatively. But at the end of the day, if you come out of the experience, it's just an experience, and like, what do you have to take from it? Because if life was only good experiences, do you think we would ever learn anything?
Fuck no, we wouldn't learn nothing. We wouldn't learn nothing, to my opinion.
But do you think learning things is like important though?
Oh, damn, that's a good fucking question. How I'm gonna answer that is, I don't think learning things is important. I think more so like just going through things as we learning is important.
I would say that's the same thing almost. Like because life is school. Like life is there to teach you stuff. I just said this in a podcast. I just heard this in a podcast too. But like, I want to hear what you say. What you think?
No, go ahead.
But he said, his name is Jay Shetty. He has a podcast called On Purpose, and he was just saying that life is school, and I think Will Smith said this, but life is school, and when we get too caught up in trying to enjoy life so much, like we only want to have good experiences. Like then when something happens challenging that happens, we kind of just be like, oh, this is crap. Like I don't want to live anymore or whatever. But yeah, life is cool. We're supposed to learn stuff. Stuff is not supposed to be easy and just given to you. Like it's supposed to be hard so you could be creative to figure stuff out. Yeah. Like life is not supposed to, he was kind of saying like life is not supposed to be really enjoyable. Like we're not supposed to be focusing on the enjoyment. So life is supposed to just be like, those are rewards for when you learn a big lesson. Like when you pass a huge course, like then you get to go celebrate. But you just be trying to celebrate, but what are we celebrating? You feel me?
Exactly. It's funny to bring up Nathan again. I remember when I told him, let's go to this one party. I forgot how long ago it was, but point is, he said exactly what you said. I was like, let's go to this party, Nathan. He was like, bro, what the fuck are we celebrating? Like, but it kind of made me have a reality check when he said that to me, because like you were saying, we always want to celebrate, enjoy, celebrate, which, there's nothing wrong with that. Yes, you want to enjoy the fruits of your labor or whatever, but where's the labor at?
Right, where I was about to say that. Like, are you putting in the labor? Like,
yeah, you want to enjoy the fruits of your labor, but where is the labor at? Like, what the fuck are you doing?
We be entitled. We be entitled to stuff.
Yeah, people always want to party and shit. It's like, no, like, no offense to anybody or shit like that, but for those of you that just love to party and celebrate life all the fucking time, I read this quote somewhere. Me and her just keep going back with quotes, but I read this quote. It said, if you learn how to live life uncomfortable, life would be easy. If you learn how to live life easy, life would be uncomfortable. So take that with y'all. Y'all better take that with y'all.
Wait, one more time.
if you learn how to live life uncomfortable, it's going to be easy. If you learn how to live life easy, it's going to be uncomfortable.
Woo.
So people take that with you. You always want to party and this and that. Yeah, celebrate. Yeah. Okay, we go see 10 years from now where your life gonna be at. It's gonna be very fucking uncomfortable. But if you're in the uncomfortable, back to what we were saying about being comfortable with the uncomfortable, if you're getting uncomfortable with the uncomfortable, your life is going to be easier in the far side of like life, you know, or the ending side, or the lap, whatever you want to call it, you know, because that's how I want to play life. I want to play life. I'm playing the long game, you know. I'm playing like 10 years, 15 years. Like, that's how I want to play life. Like, you know, yeah, I'm in a moment of shit, but I also be like thinking about like, damn, okay, I wonder how like this decision right here is going to affect like 5 years, 10 years, 20 and so on, you know. But a lot of people are like too in the moment. Like, you know, they don't have no balance at all. Some people are either too in the moment, too in the future, or too in the past, you know. And like you said, like, actions speak louder than words. Actions speak louder than words. You could tell what kind of time frame people are in just by the actions they do. They go to parties all the time. You know what's up. You know they just in the present moment all the time. What's plots? What we doing? Who we pulling up on? Wooty woo. You know, shit like
Right.
that. And then the past people, we know those. We know what those type of people do. Those are the type of people, you know. I don't judge. I'm just here to love. But it's like, you motherfuckers that be standing on the corner all the time doing your, you know, like, damn, nigga, like, what time is it? It's 2021, my nigga. You still right? You get me? Motherfuckers be in the past, and then people that be in the future too much. Those are the ones that, you know, they always doing something. They always doing something. They got to do this. They got to do that. They got to do this. They got to do that. And the next thing they know, they end their ass up in jail. Because they thinking about the future too much, you know, like they thinking about like, man, I got to get this bag. And when I get this bag, you know, I got to fuck around and, you know, spend this on the Jaguar, on the whatever the fuck, you know, but you getting that money right now so you could spend that money later on. So you thinking about the future like too much. So that's why balance is key. Balance is key. Balance is really key.
Balance is the hardest thing, and you'll forever be trying to figure out how to do that shit too.
Oh, I fucking struggle with balance. Like, you know, I could be talking all this shit because that's what I love doing. I love talking shit, but I could be talking all this shit about the past people, the future people, the present people, but I ain't gonna lie, I feel like I fall into maybe the present person. Like, I'm very in the present. You know, I don't go to parties or none of that shit, but, you know, I be in the present so much to the point that, you know, I don't have no balance with like the past or the future. I just, you know, I be in the present. I think that's why a nigga be like worried a lot too, like be scared and be like, oh, like,
yeah, that could definitely be a reason. Cause like my granddad was telling me how he used to live his life, you know, every day, just day to day, like, cause you don't think that you'll have a future to look forward to or whatever.
Exactly. I'm like,
it's just detrimental.
living your life day to fucking day, like day to day. I feel like I'm probably in that category, and I could sit here and be honest.
That's kind of it has its cons. Like, everything has its pros and cons, but
yeah,
being like in the present moment too much definitely has a con. Cause then you'll be like, well, then you be on that YOLO mindset. Like, you only live once, so you'll just do everything, and it's kind of like impulsive. Like, you start living life impulsively instead of like intentionally and like with purpose, you know. It's just all impulsive reactions. To
everybody that's listening to this, I am the best fucking example to what she just said. Look at me, I am 22 years young with a son. So that goes to show, I ain't saying having a kid at a young age is a con, but I am going to say she's not lying about being in the present moment too much. It has its cons to it, which is you not thinking about the future at all. Because when I did what I did, I wasn't thinking about the future at all. I was so in the fucking present moment that guess what that shit got me? Guess what it got me being too much in the present moment? It got me Milo Green. Mm-hmm. That's all I could say. It got me Milo
Green. Who we
Green.
love.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm about to say, I already put the disclaimer, you know, like I love that's what I wake up and, you know, that's what I'm doing the podcast for. You know, I do everything for myself first. Everything is self. And then after that, it's him and so on. Like, you know, it's myself and him and so on. But, you know, I always put him first too. But yeah. But yeah, like she said, you know, being in the moment too much, you go fuck around and have you a kid that you go be like, damn, like, you know, I'm not saying me personally, but I know people that's like, damn, you know, I'm 23 or 24 and I still want to go out to the club and want to, you know, like, like, oh, you want to go out
enjoying your 20s.
Yeah, you know, like, yeah, you want to go out to the club and stuff, but was your ass thinking that when you was doing what you was doing? No, the fuck you wasn't. So take the consequences that come with that shit. You know, be ready for the returns. That's
I was about
that's
to
my
say
favorite
that.
thing. Me and his mom was just saying that. Me and his mom was just talking about that, like, you know, mastering your energy, because what you put out, you're going to get that shit back. You're going to get it back. And I was just talking to myself about that last weekend, my last off day, which was, I think, Wednesday. I was telling myself that I said, always be ready for the returns. Always be ready for the returns. And when you do something, don't do something with the expectation of how the return is going to come. Mm-hmm. Just do something just because you want to do it. Because let's just say if you do something and then you be like, oh, the return is going to be like this. Then your dumbass is going to be looking funny when the return is like this. And then you go have your hands on your face. Like, damn, like, it turned out.
The ego done played you. Your ego played you.
Exactly.
Because whenever you do something, not just for the purpose of just doing the act, but you do it looking for something else, then that's when you get messed up and then that's when it backfires. That's
when it slaps the fuck out of you. That's when it slaps you. So that's why you should just do things out of the act of doing it. So even if it happens a way you don't want it to happen, you're not going to react as fucked up as the person that has an expectation to what they're doing, you know? Because like we said, like Nathan said, life is reacting to you, not responding to you. So if something happens to you and you did something to get a reaction that you wanted to happen, then you go look funny when it don't happen the way you thinking of it or the way like you're like picturing it, you know? So that's why just do things just to do it. Don't do things for the reaction or results of shit.
Yeah, do things that you want to do too, because you know, don't do it just because it's trendy and you see other people doing it.
Yeah,
and it could be working for them, but that doesn't mean that it's gonna work for you. So I don't know, just trying to quiet the mental chatter and then like turn up the volume on your intuition. It really helps. Like, but that is full circle to what we started talking about. Is just being a creative person and, you know, trying to just put out. And there's so many voices in your head and opinions to be said.
Yeah.
It's like how do you just ignore all of that and just focus on you and your work?
Yeah.
It all boils down to that. At least for this podcast, you know, we talk about creatives. We prioritize creatives, but
yeah. Nah, for real. It's for real.
Quieting the mental chatter and listening to yourself and just doing the work. Just diving deep into the process and growing in that process. Like, we touched all the things that we started talking about. We touched all of them. Growing up, you know, you gotta look back at your childhood. How did you do things as a kid? You know, are you maturing or are you regressing back into your old ways? Like, man,
And if you're doing things, I wanted to add one more thing too. If you're doing things your ass know you're not supposed to be doing, I'ma repeat this shit. Be ready for the returns. Be ready. Don't be fucking crying. Don't be scared. Don't be, like, you get me? And I ain't trying to be funny, but I'm saying that about people that live in a life of crime or, doing fucked up shit to people. If your ass go behind them bars or if somebody come in them cars and try to get your ass, then you get me, be ready for the return. So master your energy, for reals. Master your energy. Don't, if you do, like I said, if you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing, or like, because when it's something you're not supposed to be doing, you get that feeling. Like, it's a fucking feeling in our body that everybody gets. Like, when I used to steal stuff and all that, I used to get that feeling in my body. But guess what that feeling was? That was the universe communicating with a nigga, like, I'm about to fuck your life up real quick, right? Like, that return about to come, right? But you're not, like, being young and all that shit, you're not knowing that. I wasn't into universe laws and all that shit, so I didn't give a fuck about that. I'm stealing, I'm getting what I'm getting. The next thing I know, some horrible shit would happen to me, but then I question it, like, what, like, why, like, why me? Nah, don't question that shit, nigga. You wasn't questioning when your ass was stealing or doing what you was doing, whatever the fuck. So be ready for the return. That's my key message that I want everybody to leave listening to this episode, is be ready for the return. Be ready. Be ready for the return. Whatever you put out or whatever you do, whatever choice you make, be ready for that shit. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. Don't deny it. Don't be like, no, why this happened? Don't do none of that. Take that shit like a real fucking human, or take it like a G, whatever the fuck, and keep it pushing.
Yeah. All the good things and, the bad things. Whatever it is, whatever the energy is, you're gonna get it back. So that's why you gotta support your friends when they doing something. Support them. They need it, and so do you. Quite frankly, like you need it. Don't you want somebody to support you when you're doing what you gotta do? So when you see somebody else doing it, if they doing it before you, don't be hating. Like, dang, like that's what I want to do. No, support them. Support them. You gotta just continue the grind, man. Continue the grind. Keep investing in yourself. And investments come in like many forms. They come in like, just positive self-talk is an investment. You're investing in yourself, your self-esteem. You gotta invest in your self-esteem. You gotta investments come in the form of money. You gotta, invest in the equipment that you might need for whatever you gotta do.
Yeah.
You gotta invest in your time, number one. Oh my gosh, time is money. So that's a little bit more. Like, once you get the equipment, like, yeah, you spend all that money on that equipment, but like, is the amount of time that you're using the equipment the same amount of money that you put in for it? If not, then you pay too much for it. So use your equipment. Use your equipment that you buy. Like, don't just be buying stuff because you feel unprepared. Like I said in the beginning, you are the tool that you need. So, yeah, we just spend our lives as creatives fine-tuning our instrument, which is ourselves. And what happens with instruments, if you ever played an instrument, guitars constantly go out of tune. So you got to constantly be tuning yourself into, that right frequency. So, yeah, master your energy too. That's just a part of it. And just spread the good stuff. Yeah. Spread the good stuff. Keep it going. Just start too. This episode was supposed to be about just starting your creative journey and just having confidence in yourself to do those things. So you don't gotta listen to people. Don't. What do we learn? We learn not to seek external validation from things and people. And we learned that
don't do things for the result.
For the result.
Do it for the act.
Do it for the act. Yes. Kill your ego.
Do it for the act.
Shut up and just do that. So
and start.
Yeah, just start.
That's the main
there's
fucking
no
thing I've
moment.
learned.
Yeah, there's no perfect moment.
Start.
Just do it.
Like, this is the start of the podcast. This is the first start of, you get me? So it's all about starting. Like,
starting. That is the hardest part. And man, if only you knew how much time it was between if only you knew how much time it was between the initial idea and start date. Like, what you want to do is minimize that time from the time that you had the idea to the time that you actually start.
Yeah, for real.
Minimize that time as much as possible. Like, just do it. So yeah, and then there's no right or wrong way, because just say you start super early and you feel unprepared, then you have more time to perfect or to practice. You have way more time to practice than if you felt like, you know, the longer you wait, the more pressure is going to be on yourself to be perfect. And that's what you don't need. So that's why my recommendation is to just minimize that time from when you have the idea.
Exactly. And one more thing that I've learned with this conversation is also to start. And when you start, that's when you will figure out it comes with failures and successes.
Yeah.
It comes with failures and successes, but you got to start to see the failures and successes. How you go fail and success, or succeed, excuse me, how you go fail and succeed if you didn't even start, you know?
Man,
if you didn't even start. The best analogy is riding a bike. You know, how could you know to ride a bike without training wheels if you don't start pedaling? Like, you got to pedal, and once you pedal, you go fall, but once you fall, you go get back up and keep pedaling until you come to the realization, like, oh, this is a walk in the park, or whatever they be saying, you know?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Well, I think that this was like a super just eye-opening conversation, and I learned a lot, and I enjoyed talking with you and everything, and it's going to be more conversations like this. And what is this? What are we on? We listening to Alphabet Soup, the podcast. This is just the beginning. We with Elkneenose. We with B33. We with you here for listening, the listener.
Yeah.
And yeah, we had some type of technical difficulties, but we're gonna keep going. And I hope you had a great day. I hope you did something that you love to do today, and continue to have a great day. Spread positive energy. Start your endeavor that you want to do. And just know that I support you. So, yeah. Any closing words that you got to say?
Oh, closing words. Closing words. I just want to say you are important to me as much as I am to you. Like, so, you know, as the content creator or as the podcast creator, so are you as the listener, because, you know, we could listen to ourselves all fucking day, but it's like, we would love to have people that's listeners to, you know, contribute to the podcast and stuff. Because, you know, we're all contributing to each other. I'm contributing to you. You contributing to us. So I just want to say, yeah, the listeners are as important to me and my sister's podcast, just as important we are to y'all, giving y'all this content of the podcast. So I just want to, yeah, that was my closing words. My closing words were y'all as important. Y'all super important to us. So love y'all. You know, have a lovely night or day, however the time is, wherever you listening at. And shout outs to my nigga Nathan. Shout outs to my best friend Nathan. Shout outs to my best friend Chaylee. Shout outs to everybody. Shout outs to Scott. Shout outs to Milo. Shout outs to everybody. Shout outs to my mom. Yeah, I was about to say.
Shout out to my mama. Shout out to my friends, Dahlia, Cheyenne, India, Kayla, Catherine, Kylie, everybody. Shout out to everybody. Just shout out to everybody I know.
Shout outs to everybody I know. Shout outs to all my coworkers from the first job, Summer Night Lights, to the core. Shout outs to all the Long Beach core people. Shout outs to all the Nordstrom workers I'm working with right now. Shout outs to Doug. Shout outs to Aaron. Shout outs to Lily. Shout outs to, like, you know, drop
them.
Yeah, I got a name drop. You know, shout outs to Aaron, Lily, Doug. Shout outs to Dave, Miguel, Chris. I could keep going on. You know, I could keep going on. Shout outs to Brittany that left. She don't work there no more. Shout outs to a lot of people. Shout outs to, you know, shout out to Titty Juice. Shout outs to Shine with Juice. You give me shout outs to Shine with Juice. She doing her thing, y'all. I don't know who that is, but you know, she doing what she doing. I fuck with her. She doing her thing. Shout outs to Shine with Juice, but most importantly, just shout out to my close ones, my friends, my family, and shout outs to that nigga Ninos. Shout outs to that nigga Ninos. Shout outs to Brianna. No, for reals. Like, not like that, but fuck all them shout outs. Shout outs to B33. Shout outs to B33. Real shit. Like, this woman right here she's so special to me. Like, for real. She's so special to me. And yeah, she motivate me to be the creative that I am, you know? It's so many discouraging times that I had that's like, Brianna, I don't want to do this shit no more. And guess who was like, nigga, you go do this shit. And it was this woman right here. So shout outs to her. And last but not least, shout outs to our fallen brother, Jordan. Shout outs to Bacon. Shout outs to him.
He'll definitely be here right now.
Yeah, he's a real special shout out. Matter of fact, all them shout outs are just shout outs. That's a special shout out. Shout outs to Bacon. Shout outs to Bacon. 333 forever. And
forever. 3-3s forever and ever and ever and ever. This is actually a 3-3s production right here. So yeah, just stay tuned, y'all. Like, you already know, Alphabet Soup, the podcast, is a family.
Oh, shout outs to Good. Shout outs to Dead Homies. Shout outs to Dead Homies. Shout outs to Good. Shout outs to Dead Homies. And one more shout out. Shout outs to the whole No Brains. Shout outs to No Brainers. That's my little collective right there. You know, shout outs to No Brains. You know, No Brains forever. And that's it. That's all.
Yep. So peace. Have a lovely night or day or I don't know. we awkward. We awkward around this piece. All right, peace. Thanks for listening. Alphabet Soup, the podcast, episode 1.